Okay, so we're going to have a look at Rockin' in the Free World, arranged for acoustic guitar for you to have a bash at. There's a new technique for some of you in this one, which is palm muting. So using the palm of the right hand to mute the strings and get a grip of your plectrum. It's this part of your palm, okay, that's going to come down over here near the bridge. Has to be near the bridge to get this chunky sound where the string's muted and you can still hear some of the original pitch of the note. If you come too far across, you've got nothing, okay? You've just got clacky strings, which is great for some things, but not for this. So what you're going to do is make an E power chord down here. It's the open E string, and I'd use my first finger to the second fret on the A string. So open to there. We're going to mute that over here with our palm mute. And do something like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now you can do that all as downstrokes. Or you can do up and downs. You might be able to hear there's a slight difference there between the two. That's down and up. That's straight down. Straight down, I think, sounds a little bit more preferable. It's a little bit more uniform. It means the right hand has to work a little bit harder because you're skipping the upstrokes. But give it a try both ways, see what you can do. After you've done a bar of that then, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you're going to hit D and then C. They fall as D on 1. Okay, 1, 2 and. C is going to fall on the and of 2. 1, 2 and 3, 4. So you might like to do that as a down for the D, down, up on the C. Okay, so the D's on the beat, the C's off the beat, downstrokes on the beat, upstrokes off the beat usually. So it would be something like this, your main riff. Okay, something like that. As close as that as you can get it, I think. That's what we're after there for the intro. In the verse, you can strum straight through those chords if you like. I think that works quite nicely to sit alongside the vocals. So there, I'm strumming 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and down, down, up, down, up, down, up. D. Timing's the same here, D to C. So D on the 1, C on the end of 2. But now we're going to fill in the rest of that bar rather than let the C hang. So it's D, 1, 2 and on the C. And then on the end of 3 you'll come back in and 4 and up, down, up. Okay, so 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Okay, something like that. Repeats around a few times. Okay, so give that a try. Chorus then, similar strumming pattern from that E minor chord there in the verse. So 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. Fairly standard pattern. Going to go through G, D, C, and then at the end of the phrase or the pattern or whatever you like in the fourth bar, we're going to have a C going back to E minor. Should sound something like this, I think. straightforward going through the first 3 bars there. G, 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and D, 2 and 3 and 4 and C, 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, we get to this bar, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, so it's a 1 and down up on the C. Then I'm muting those strings. You don't have to do that, you can let that ring. Okay, if that helps you, that's fine. The E minor falls on the end of 2, okay, like we were doing earlier in that intro riff and in the verse, okay, that same point in the bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 2 and 3 and 4. 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, that's your chorus. For the bridge, it goes to an A chord and it sits on the A for 4 bars. Nothing fancy. Down, down, up, down, up, down. 4 bars. Okay. Right. Also on your sheet, then you'll have the intro written out as record. So timings stay the same. Palm muting stays the same. The difference is on the record, rather than a D and a C over here in the open position, they're played up here. With this bar figure going on here, okay, so 1 finger here, the first finger is going across the 7th fret on the D, G and B strings, okay, 7th fret, 5th fret. Now that can be a bit of a ways to travel if you're sat down here on this power chord. So you might like to be sneaky and keep on chugging the E string and let this hand move across. You might see my hand doing that. Okay, I could stay there. It's a bit more of a rush, and if you want an easier ride, moved across early. You might like to move it across for sort of beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and. Okay, doing those there, both as downstrokes as well this time. That's down and up, down, down. Doesn't sound that much different, okay, but I think it sounds a little bit better. It feels a little bit tighter to play as well. So that's the intro written out as the record. You've got on here as well some fiddly variations for the verse. Okay, now the way Neil Young plays this then is he takes the chords during the verse and he fiddles about with them a bit, embellishes them a little, and it's one of those parts where he doesn't really play it the same way twice, I don't think, exactly anyway. So some things you can try out if you want to try and get close to this sort of thing is taking your E minor chord and making it an E minor 7. And the best way to do that, for me anyway, is using my pinky to come onto the 3rd fret on the B string. That turns us into an E minor 7. Okay, and he plays a figure like that. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So there's a bit more motion and movement going on in there rather than just that straight E minor chord. A little bit more melodic. For the D, kind of splits the chord up into the lower and the higher halves of it. Low, high, low. And then I would use the open strings to get over to C and do the same kind of thing there. lower half, higher half, lower half, open strings to get back to E minor for the repeat. Something like that. Okay, you might like to play around with that pinky coming in and out. You might not fancy that at all. Okay, so leave it if you don't like it. There's one other phrase down the bottom here then. Again, another little kind of variation on this playing around in the verse, another thing he tries out. This one's got a little bit more motion and movement going on in here. Okay, so we're splitting the E minor up now into higher and lower halves. Low, high, and then kind of picking out this D string. Okay, this sort of thing happening. Low, high, D, and then this is the G and B together there. And I would stick to a strict down and up there. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's the same thing played twice there. So this is the pattern. And that's done twice. Doesn't matter if you're 100% accurate with that, okay? It really doesn't. It's just getting some motion, some movement into those chords. The D and the C stay the same there, okay? So if you're playing around with those, you might end up with something like this. Hi, sorry about that. Hit the maximum recording time on the last video, so it cut me off. So I'll just play that last little example for you here then. So this is your fiddly bits, roughly about the sort of speed you want to try and hit them. Okay. You'll notice that's not 100% accurate, okay? It's really, like I said, not about the full accuracy of playing it exactly like it's written on the page. It's just trying to get the feel in that, okay? Trying to get some motion and some movement into those chords. One extra little thing you might like to try there is if you're going for your E minor 7 with this pinky in, you may try and leave that one there for the D. That might help, get a smooth change there. And then using your open string bounce to transition off to the C again. You could use that getting to the D if you didn't want to leave the pinky in place. Okay, so here we go again. Really much difference between the two approaches there, so pick what's comfortable for you and have some fun with that one. Okay, take it easy.